Brits of Reddit, now that it's been a few years, has Brexit been a success? Why or why not?
Brexit destroyed my online business. I got a lot of orders from Europe.
Brexit went through.
Now they have to pay import fees that they never had to pay before, and then eventually VAT that they never had to pay before.
They didn't want to pay all of that extra stuff, so they stopped ordering. My sales went down until I had to close my shops.
One of the reasons people voted for Brexit was to stop immigration. Last year we had 700,000 net migration.
Doesn't sound like a great success to me.
It's been an absolute disaster. Pretty much no tangible benefits. Plenty of tangible drawbacks.
It was always based on lies and deceit. Anyone telling you otherwise is a liar or a fool.
Brexit assisted with the downfall of my business. So if you ask me, no. I think it says a lot that Farage, Johnson, etc. aren't shouting about how they made it happen anymore.
Brexit was probably the biggest influence on why my business ultimately failed. Goods and supplies I needed became incredibly expensive to acquire from the EU.
In some cases, my suppliers stopped shipping to the UK altogether.
And for me to ship my goods in the other direction into the EU, it became more expensive and complicated to deal with.
I lost a massive chunk of business and all of the convenience of trading in the EU overnight. So on my eyes, Brexit is a complete failure.
Not a Brit, but I would say it's been an unmitigated success. We used to have so many leave EU debates in my country, Denmark, and general dissatisfaction with EU. Post-Brexit, all debates have stopped and the country has unified much more around the ideas of EU.
Even the most anti-EU parties no longer openly talk about leaving the EU. So to all Brits, the rest of EU thanks you for doing the experiment. Smile.
It's been the disaster the experts they were all sick of predicted it would be. I thankfully escaped the shithole before it really bit, but the business my company used to do with the EU is now gone. Fucking clowns voting Brexit. I'll never forgive it or let any Brexit voter play it down. It's a fucking disaster. Hard to know whether or not Brexit has been a success, given those who voted for it have never been able to articulate exactly what it was meant to achieve. I guess we'll never know.
Speaking as someone from Northern Ireland, Brexit has done two good things for us. The Windsor Framework, which keeps us under some of the EU rules and allows us to trade in both the UK and EU markets, which makes us a prime spot for investment, and it has also speeded up the talk of a united Ireland as well. It has resulted in an increase in the number of non-EU immigrants, which infuriates the bigots who voted for Brexit expecting the opposite. Migration from other places has greatly increased. Legal migration has trebled and illegal migration up 10x. Our withdrawal from the Dublin Convention has meant that we can no longer return illegal migrants to the last EU country they passed through. Destroyed my business and my job. So no thanks Brexit. It's had no upside at all for the common working person. Maybe if you are already very, very rich, you got something out of it. Maybe. But the main point I want to make here is how difficult it is to translate from English, UK, to English, US, how the Brexit vote was a swan song for boomers who had grown up being indoctrinated from birth about how Britain is the greatest empire ever to grace the world, and their voting for Brexit was, to their mind, a defiant assertion that we yet remain the world's arbiter of sovereignty and are superior to the EU. Again, it is for all practical purposes impossible to translate this. The closest I can get is that we have a large mass of people with deeply deranged ideas about Britain's place in the world, and they won the day, but only just. Nah mate, it's been shite.